Hierdie is nou een van daai video's wat nou nie lekker was om te maak nie, maar ek het net regtig gevoel ek moet en want daar's so baie challenges wat opduik. Dit raak net elke jaar erger, maar die video's in Engels sodat boere en wie ook al dit moet sien, ook maar alles hoor wat hulle moet hoor. En maar ja, so asseblief ouens, vat dit maar soos dit kom. Wil niemand aanvat nie of ek wil niemand seermaak of ietsie. Ek adresseer maar net die olifant in die kamer want niemand, ek meen die olifant begin al nou hier op ons almal trap. So iemand moet nou maar die olifant uit die kamer uit kry. So ouens, ek praat maar die waarheid. Ek wil maar net hê ons moet almal op die einde van die dag nog steeds ons werke kan behou en goeters, maar so video's maar in Engels vir 'n rede. So maar geniet hom en ek sal daarvan hou om julle comments te hoor want dit help om beter video's te maak in die toekoms. Geniet hom. But there's a big problem with H2A workers from South Africa in America. There's a lot of things that are popping up across the country, across America, with farmers that have problems with South African H2A workers. And I think we need to address the elephant in the room. We need to look at the problem, but we also can look at the solution. I really think that the H2A program is the best program, best visa that you can possibly get to come to America to work on a farm, to showcase your skills and your abilities to the farmers that employ you. But with that, there's become a big trend. There's a big trend happening amongst H2A workers, especially from South Africa, and it's become a big problem. It's become a problem to the point where we've even got a name now for South African H2A workers, which is called JJs, job jumpers. So JJs are becoming a problem for the H2A visa program, and a lot of farmers are seeking advice. A lot of farmers are seeking better solutions. They're looking at hiring from different countries because the H2A program has been opened up to most and all countries. I think there might be limitations on some, but the H2A visa program is now open. That changes the whole ball game, and I foresee that it might become a problem in the future for South Africans to come and work in America. Now, guys, I'm very positive. My channel is a positive channel. I've always got a positive outlook on things, but we need to address what's happening. And what's happening currently now in America on the H2A program is where South Africans are being hired through agents and they are being placed on farms. How the vetting process was, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's obviously the agent's responsibility, it's the farmer's responsibility, and it's the employee's responsibility to give the correct information. We know that it's obviously not happening, and we understand that there's a big problem with vetting the right candidates. I'm just getting rid of the flies and mosquitoes here, but so guys, South Africans come over, they get work, which I think is the greatest privilege. One of the greatest privilege in life is to get a working contract on a farm in America. It's a privilege because you can earn a lot of money. You can earn dollars, and we understand that the conversion rate from dollar to rand is quite high, and it can change your life. It can change your position. It can change your family's life back home. So the reason we all do H2A at the end of the day is to come to America to work and to make money. The problem now is that people get contracts on farms. It costs the farmer that employs them a lot of money, and it's nothing for a South African H2A worker to become a job jumper, within a few weeks or within a month or two being on that farm. Okay, the coin has two sides. We understand that there is some farmers that don't need to be on the H2A program. I'm sorry to say that. And the same is there is really some South Africans that don't need to be on the program. I'm really sorry to say this. I have to address the elephant in the room because these South Africans that are job jumpers or JJs that are jumping from farm to farm, breaking contracts and chasing more money is becoming a problem. I understand, guys. I'm not saying if you had to move from farm to farm because of certain circumstances or something happened, and we all understand that problems can arise and there's things that's happening on farms that you might not get along with the farmer. You and the farmer both agreed it's better for you to move. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about earning good money on a farm, but hearing that you can even make more on another farm. Okay, is that the case? Yes. Is it true? Yes. You can make maybe more money. Your friend is working for a different farmer, so I mean, he's been telling you the farmer needs somebody, and you're going to make so much money, and the farmer is such a great guy, and you're going to really enjoy working here. Guys, here's the thing, and this is something that I want to just address, and I want to leave the thoughts there for everybody to sort of just go and chew on, and especially for the new H2A workers coming into America. If you sign a contract, if you've got an agreement with a farmer in America, honor that contract. Honor your name that you've agreed upon, the contract you signed. Remember, you agreed on the rate. You agreed to work for that hourly rate. You agreed for working a certain amount of hours a week. You agreed on certain terms of the contract. That's why the farmer hired you. You can do, you've got a certain skill set. The farmer wanted you to come over because of what you can do for him. Now, we need to go back, guys, where we honor the elders, we honor the people in authority. If they're younger or older, doesn't matter. We need to look at the problem we are creating, just jumping around, being job jumpers, leaving farmers in difficult times sometimes and leaving them just before harvest, or leaving them to go and look for a different worker and spend more money. Guys, and here's the thing, I'm not pro anybody here. I'm trying to have a neutral outlook conversation on this, especially. And the problem the farmers have with job jumpers is it costs them money. It costs them a lot of money. It's a lot of money to employ you as a South African worker to come to America. You have to respect that. You have to respect the farmer. You have to respect the contract, which has got your name on. You have to respect the farmer's equipment. You have to respect your fellow South Africans, and you have to respect the American co-workers. So guys, I've seen tragic stories. I hear tragic stories every week in the HLA circles of people that fight with farmers or misuse farmers' equipment or vehicles, or they go and drink and they make accidents, and sometimes people die, which is even more tragic. They can't get along even living in the same house with other South Africans. I've got the bell ringing. Stop. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna stop. It's waking us up. But guys, I want you as the viewer, or you as the audience, or you as my follower, just to be alert about what's going on. Okay, so the bell stopped eventually. Guys, we've got a problem, so we have to address it. And the problem is that the H2A visa program for South Africans is becoming a problem because of South Africans coming over to America and not treating the program with respect. So I'm obviously talking to the wrong audience here, because I know most of you are good, law-abiding citizens, but we have to address this problem, and we have to look at the solutions of what we can do to make the H2A visa program still accessible for South Africans in the future. We understand that the refugee program might also have a longer term impact on the H2A visa program, because a farmer can now just easily hire a refugee without all the money and paperwork that's involved. But guys, here's the gist of the problem. You, as a South African coming over to America, have to be very grateful that a big country, a first world country like America, opens up their borders for us. That's one big thing. You coming to America as visitor. You are illegal, legal alien for that time. You are not illegal, but you legally here for a certain period of time because of the permission that the USA government gives us to help the program be a success. We have to honor and appreciate that. We also have to honor the contract. Guys, I don't know, I might be from a different era, I might be from a different generation, where I was taught that you honor the contract, you honor your name. The most important thing and the only thing that you have in life is a good name. It's a name that people can rely on. It's a name that people don't have to talk bad about. That is a very important thing that I see people don't do. They don't understand it. Well, the younger generation might see it differently. I don't know. But I was taught you honor the contract. If you put your name on a contract, and you honor to finish the contract. And as I said, there's sometimes different reasons outside of your sort of control that makes you break a contract, but as far as possible, you try and keep the contract with the farmer. The other thing is, guys, that it costs a farmer to employ a South African a lot of money. Just to get a guy here, and with all the paperwork and all the agent fees and filing fees and airplane fares and visa fees and accommodation and utilities and everything, it costs a farmer a lot of money. I've had an interview with a farmer to ask him what it costs to employ a South African, and it's a lot of money. If you go and work on a farm and you're only there for a month and you job jumping and you being a JJ and you're just breaking the contract, going to the next farm, then you have to realize that you're putting that farmer in a predicament. Okay, guys, and South Africans living with other South Africans in a house, it's not an easy thing. To come and work in America on a farm is not a glamorous, easy thing to do, because you're living with a whole lot of different personalities in one house. You have to share a bathroom, you have to share a toilet, you have to share a kitchen, you have to share a lot of things. Some cases you have to share a vehicle. It's not easy to live in a house with strangers. It's not easy to work on a farm in America in general. So if I ever if I ever painted that picture that it's easy and everybody must come, and let's do it, I apologize. But as far as I can, and as far as what I like to do, is make videos about the realities of America and working on farms in America. So guys, if we are not going to stop drinking and driving with a farmer's vehicle, if we are not going to stop chasing women, breaking girlfriends or wives' hearts back home, dishonoring people, because at the end of the day, it's dishonoring another human being. We need to stop doing that. I'm not saying if you're young and single, I mean, by all means, you are free to pursue whatever you want and whoever you want in that regard, but you still need to honor the father, the farmer's time. You know, a lot of South Africans and the stories that I hear is, you know, they sometimes get women pregnant here. They get drunk. I mean, we all young. I mean, I'm sure, I'm not saying don't enjoy your life, but I mean, just think, guys, think of the consequences your actions have. Think about the consequences of what, if you have a passionate night with a stranger, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, one night of passion can lead to a lifetime of misery. Okay? So just think before you open up your zip, before you take off your pants. Just think of the consequences that can go with all of that. And remember, guys, there's a lot of people that come to America that work on the H2A program for many years, 20 years, 15 years, 25 years, which is, it's the only thing they have. And they respect the H2A visa, they respect the employer, they respect themselves. Now, if you that come over to America from South Africa and you do not respect the farmer, you do not respect your fellow co-workers, you do not respect the contract, at the end of the day, everybody's going to suffer. So that's what I'm just asking today, guys. If we can just stop that bad cycle, I can still see a future for H2A, the H2A visa program for South Africans. But if we do not stop, if we do not carrying on being stupid, we're going to pay the price. We're going to pay the price for being stupid. So I hope this helps somebody, guys. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that want to still work in America that they can't get in. But guys, here's the thing. Don't stop. Keep looking, keep searching, keep knocking, and just keep trusting. Stay on your knees. I mean, if you are watching this and you're a believer, or you're a Bible believer and you believe in the blood of Jesus, and we believe in the salvation of the blood, and I don't have to explain that to everybody. I mean, I'm sure everybody understands, but it's always been my refuge. If there's problems, if there's situations that I can't handle, I know where to go to. I know who to go to for advice, and that's my Creator. So there's many promises in the Bible that we can get wisdom from and we can get encouragement from. So I encourage you, obviously, just to keep on doing that. But guys, at the end of the day, we are the makers of our own destiny. We are the makers of the path that we set for others. And I think we need to stop this problem we have in America of South Africans giving other South Africans a bad name. Please, I plead with you. It's the greatest privilege to be on the H2A visa program. It's the greatest privilege to be able to work in a different country and earn 18 times more than what you can earn in your own country. It's a privilege, guys. And people just come over and they don't realize that. So for some people, it happens so easy. They just get a job quickly, get a visa, come over, and other people struggle. So let's appreciate what we have, guys. Let's take pride in the opportunities we have to come to America to work on the H2A program. And for everybody that watches Facebook and TikTok, and I mean, we see a lot of videos. It's great, and I appreciate everybody sharing videos and things like that. But, you know, guys, please, at the end of the day, make it real in terms of what you face. Share your problems, because it helps somebody. So make a difference, guys, and thanks for watching. And I just really wanted to address the elephant in the room, and I think nobody's talking about it. And again, like I say, it's the coin is always both two sides. There's two sides to the coin, and I say this with all of the respect that I have for people, and is we need to stop breaking our contracts, and we need to open up our mouths, and we need to find a happy medium for everybody to coexist on the H2A visa program. And like I said, I think some farmers go through a lot of trouble to employ South Africans, and I know a lot of South Africans give their all. I know a lot of South African farm workers will give their heart and soul working on that farm that they're working for. I understand that. So let's keep doing that. Let's keep the mutual respect that there is, but let's bring to light what is in the dark. I think that is how we're all going to move forward. We're all going to change the program and we're going to stop having to deal with really stupid issues that it just seems to me that some people don't have two brain cells to just think about the consequences. They go and do things, and it hurts other people, and it hurts the program for other South Africans. So guys, all the best, and like I say, don't keep your mouth shut. If something's wrong, talk about it. If you have respect for other human beings, you will talk to them. But let's keep the program up and running and staying for South Africans, please, because a lot of lives are at stake. When we start messing up, a lot of people, families, people that rely on this will suffer. And we don't want that. We obviously don't want that. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like what I do, if you like my videos, please like, share, subscribe, follow me. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you.